just going to do a quick video on how to use the Janome Airthread, or how to thread it more specifically. Before you do anything, what you want to do is open it up. There's a switch down here. Okay, this is the switch for serging mode. There's a little icon, and then there's a switch for threading mode. And what that does is it tells it that the pipes need to go through here, and in order to have that happen, you have to have this little notch here on your hand wheel lined up with, there's a little line on there, and that's the perfect position for threading. Otherwise the tubes don't line up properly. And it's also beneficial for your top thread because of the new needle threader. So for the needle threader up here, you just kind of push it down and it goes through the right eye, pop it back up, push this forward, and it goes through the left eye. I'm not going to get into the details of threading this because it's pretty straightforward. So for the air threading portion, once you have your switch turned over here and your hand wheel in the proper position, you will see the tube slide into place. I'm going to start with the upper looper. So it threads the same way a normal serger threads. You're going to go in the front of this hole, back around through the slot, like that. And I always hold my thread with a little bit of tension, kind of like dental floss. You're going to slide it under this first little tension disc here, and then you're going to bring it around to your tension setting there. What you want to do is make sure your presser foot is up, and that's going to open up those discs, and you can actually see the thread fall into place there. And then we're just going to give this about a 6 to 8 inch tail, and that's going to help the air threader push the thread through. It needs a little bit of slack in order to get it through the pipes there. So about 1.5 inches, you're going to feed into the hole right there. It goes in pretty easy. I've used other air threaders and it can be a little bit tricky getting into that hole. You can feed it in a little bit more than 1.5 inches if that makes you feel more comfortable. This dial indicates whether you're doing your upper looper or your lower looper, so in this case we're doing our upper looper. So when everything's lined up, you're going to lift this lever all the way up, which is very easy, and then you're going to push it down. It's going to have a little bit of resistance on it, and then if you watch this turquoise thread here, it will come all the way through the upper looper and out the eye. There you go, and it's that simple. And that's why you need the extra tail too. If it's too short, if you don't give it that slack, then it won't be able to feed it through all the way, but you can just keep giving it slack and then pushing the lever again. It's a little bit nicer to do it in one step. So that was nice and simple. Now we'll do the lower looper. So basically it's the same thing, going through the front of the hole in the thread tree and then back around the slot, holding your thread with a little bit of tension underneath the first tension plate there, and then through the tension discs, making sure that your presser foot is up around the little hook there, and then giving it a tail, and then you're going to feed it through, again about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Making sure your thread isn't going to snag on the lever or anything like that. And then don't forget to turn this dial to the lower looper section. Then you're going to lift the lever up, push it down, and if you watch the lower looper here, it should come right out through the eye. And there it is. And just like that, you're threaded. Usually you got to bring this guy back just out of the way. That's usually what I'll recommend to people. Same with this one. Just send it back behind there. And then you can do your left and right needle, and then you're ready to go. So I'm really digging this new serger from Janome. It's nice that it has the little thread catcher. Little, it's actually quite a large thread catcher on the front. And it's a good size. It's got a lot of weight to it, and I can't wait to get started doing some samples.